my God. Okay. Right, everyone just calm down and don't touch any. Why would you do that? Oh, for the love of God, please, stop this. Wait, are you having fun right now?
Hey everyone, I'm Bruce, and clear your backlog, because we've got a fresh batch of new VR games dropping next week and some spicy updates you'll want to hear about. So if you've got yourself a Quest 3, PSVR 2, or maybe a PCVR setup, there's something worth peeking at. Yes, even if you're still stuck halfway through that one last run from last weekend. We've also got some VR news that'll make you raise an eyebrow, or maybe your wallet. Let's dive in, and hey, keep an eye out. Your next obsession might be in here. World War Z VR. If you've ever yelled at your screen playing World War Z, wishing you could just jump into the chaos yourself, well, gear up, because World War Z VR is coming, and it's about to make that wish a little too real. This upcoming single-player VR shooter lets you step into the swarm, guns blazing and heart pounding. You'll revisit reimagined locations from the original game, now redesigned for a full VR experience that throws you head first into cities crawling and sprinting with undead. You get to choose your operative, load up with your favorite weapons, tweak your perks, and go in solo, but not alone. Your AI squads got your back, kind of, and every mission feels like a desperate fight for survival. With 3 difficulty levels, this feels like a stress test in zombie crowd control. And if you're thinking, how bad can a swarm be? Imagine hundreds of zombies climbing over each other to reach you in VR, with your only escape being a steady trigger finger and quick feet. Bottom line, if you've got a Quest or PCVR headset and love zombie carnage, keep your eyes peeled for this one. The swarm's coming. Better be ready.
Warning! This game is not for scaredy cats, nervous Nellies, or yellow bellies. If you are sensitive to big scares, frightening situations, and/or fearsome mythological creatures,
don't move. Now, this is a VR game that dares you to literally do nothing, and somehow still makes your palms sweat. That's Don't Move, coming to PCVR on August 14th, 2025, and it's one of the weirdest, most hilarious nerve-wreckers you'll ever try. Set inside the Flinch Inc. dummy testing facility. Yes, really, you're the test subject. A crash test dummy with one job: stay perfectly still. No flinching, no twitching, no blinking, even when terrifying stuff is flying at your face or whispering in your ear. It's not about jumping or running, it's about not reacting at all. That's the challenge. With binaural audio, putting you smack in the middle of the chaos, immersive sequences, and a gallery mode to torture your friends, it's part horror, part comedy, and all about who's got the coldest nerves. Doesn't matter if you are seated or standing if you're really brave, it turns stillness into a full-body workout in panic control. Want to see how long you or your friends can last before you flinch? Then wishlist it now. Because when the alarms blare and the lights flicker, just don't move.
What was that?
I don't know. Let me check.
Frost Survival VR. Here, you will find yourself freezing, alone, and surrounded by an endless sheet of white. No tutorials, no hand-holding, just you, the snow, and whatever you can craft before the cold eats you alive. Frost Survival. VR throws you into a brutal frozen sandbox where survival is a grind. You'll need to scavenge, craft, and build a shelter before hypothermia sets in. Want to keep warm? You better learn to chop wood, trap animals, and patch your gear fast. Weather changes on a dime, and when night hits, temperatures plummet, and so does your grip on reality. Yep, mental health is a thing here. Neglect it, and hallucinations start creeping in. Are those footsteps behind you? or just your mind playing tricks. Either way, you'll need to stay sharp. Go solo if you're into the whole lone wolf thing, or bring a friend and brave the white wasteland together. This frosty fight for survival is more about brains and guts than brute force. Launching soon in VR, Frost Survival VR wants to test just how long you can keep your body warm and your mind from snapping.
You ever heard of Tom? Tom! You know, the guy's a legend. Let's go and see him. Oh my God. Okay. Right, everyone just calm down and don't touch any. Why would you do that?
Hide the corpse. Ever panic cleaned your house before guests arrived? Now imagine the guest is the police and the thing you're hiding is a body. Welcome to Hide the Corpse, an over-the-top, physics-driven VR chaos fest where your only mission is to stash that corpse before the cops knock. You've got 4 minutes. The clock's ticking. And that body ain't gonna hide itself. Toss it under the bed. Amateur move. Stuff it in a sarcophagus at the museum. Better, launch it into space via a spaceship's airlock. Now we're cooking. The levels bring a new absurd location with its own tricks, traps and time-bending weirdness. Yes, even underwater shipwrecks and zero-G environments. The game dares you to think fast, move faster, and get very creative with your mess. Erase fingerprints, unlock ridiculous skins, disco dummy, and fail gloriously before figuring out the perfect plan. Every hilarious failure teaches you something, mainly that bodies are heavier than they look. Hide the Corpse promises frantic fun with a darkly comedic twist, so hit that wishlist and find out soon, before the cops do. Grit and Valor 1949. So, World War II didn't quite end the way we remember it. Grit and Valor 1949. History veers off the rails and drops you smack in the middle of a war-torn Europe, crawling with Axis-controlled mechs the size of city buses. And you're the Resistance's last hope. Coming to PCVR, this alt-history real-time tactics shooter throws you into the cockpit, literally, as you command a squad of customizable mechs through chaos. You'll navigate unique terrain, make snap tactical decisions, protect your command vehicle, and pray you survive long enough to face off against kaiju-sized boss mechs led by elite Axis generals. Every mission is randomized, so no 2 runs play the same. If you fall, regroup at base, upgrade your pilots and machines, then throw yourself right back into the fire. Expect fast-paced combat, smart strategy, and a heaping dose of 1940s diesel punk madness. Oh, and did we mention it's in full VR? You're not just watching the war, you're in it. Alright, now that we've got our pulse racing with all the upcoming VR madness, let's shift gears and dive into what's been making headlines in the world of VR. Yep, it's time for your latest VR news update. Arken brings its Sci-Fi world to Quest 3 this November. Arken, one of this year's standout VR action games, is officially heading to Quest 3 and 3S this November. Originally released on PCVR and PlayStation VR 2, the game is now making its way to stand-alone headsets with zero compromises. According to Vitruvius VR's CEO and lead designer Blake Stone, the Quest 3 version will have 100% content parity and runs at a native 72 FPS to keep combat and physics feeling just as sharp. The game takes place in the lush, terraformed world of the Biochasm and offers a roughly 10-hour solo campaign where you play as a biologically engineered alien out to solve the mystery of the Grand Arborist's disappearance. Along the way, you'll explore over 20 regions, battle Hyperion enemies and towering bosses, and wield 3 core weapons that can be customized with 32 mods. Everything's been built from the ground up for VR. Expect full-on physical interactions and highly responsive mechanics. Sure, the story might not blow your mind, and it's definitely not a beginner-friendly VR title. But between the slick presentation, rewarding combat, and excellent haptics, Arken Age delivers where it counts. Quest 3 players, this is one to keep a close eye on this November. Texas DPS taps operator XR for $3.7 million in virtual reality training solutions. Australian tech company X Reality Group just landed a huge win in the US. Its subsidiary, Operator XR, has secured a $3.7 million USD contract with the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, to roll out its OP2 VR training platform across the state. This deal marks a major expansion for Operator XR, whose immersive system is designed to boost tactical decision-making, mission planning, and de-escalation skills for law enforcement. For context, Texas DPS is one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the US, serving around 30 million people. So this is no small deployment. The contract will kick off in Q2 2026, starting with delivery of hardware, software, onboarding, and 2 years of support, valued at $2.8 million USD. There's also an option to extend support for another 3 years, bringing the total potential value to $3.7 million USD. X Reality Group CEO Wayne Jones called this a strategic milestone, viewing Texas DPS as a prime reference point for scaling into other US agencies. This follows a $1.4 million USD grant from the Australian government aimed at accelerating Operator XR's AI capabilities, like real-time feedback, automated scenarios, and global readiness. Big things ahead for VR police training. We're glad you stuck around. From alien shootouts to high-stakes training sims, the VR world's heating up. Which game are you most hyped for? Or did we miss something that's been hiding in your wish list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Bonus points for bold predictions. And hey, if this roundup helped you find your next digital escape, give it a like, maybe hit that sub button, and we'll keep bringing you more headset-worthy updates every week. Until then, happy gaming.